Time for another Soccer Down Here 1v1, and this one's special. The pride of Savannah, Georgia, who is now a part of St. Louis City SC. Indiana Vassilev hanging out with us for a 1v1. Indiana, welcome back to this side of the Atlantic and St. Louis City SC. Thanks for hanging out for a 1v1.
No, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on your show. Really excited to have a little chat with you today.
So, all right, let's go into the deal in and of itself. What's it like to be a part of? I know a lot of kids will sit there and it's like, you're the new kid at school. You're now a part of something where you're the new kid and everybody's the new kid at the new school. What's it like? What's it like being a part of something from the ground up?
It's definitely a very new experience for me and for everybody else involved. I have been lucky enough to play with players in my time down in Miami who have gone through that process. I'll name drop one guy. Victor Ulloa was part of Cincinnati's inaugural season. So I have been talking to him. I spoke to him a little bit before I came and a little bit after I came on how that process is, what it's kind of going to look like. Obviously, it's going to be different for every club. I do think it helps that St. Louis is historically a very big soccer city. So everybody's kind of all in already. There are things that need to be ironed out. We're a new franchise. We're in a week and a half into the preseason. So there are things that need to be ironed out, but everyone's excited.
When this came across your bow, it's like, okay, hey, there's folks that are interested and you're coming back. What was it like to get your spidey senses up about being a part of something and coming back and being in MLS, even though you were at Inter Miami? What's it like? What were those spidey senses like for the opportunity to come back and stay this time?
I was very excited right from the start. And I was able to speak to the coaching staff before I even went to St. Louis. And they were telling me about what an exciting project it is. I obviously wanted to be there so I could sense it for myself. And I think once I was there and I got the tour of the facility and the stadium, I was kind of already sold.
What did you learn about yourself from your time at Villa and then your time on loan down in Miami? What did you learn about yourself, about how you've grown and evolved as a soccer player over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think that I learned that you have to be, this is for everybody out there listening, whoever is listening, you have to be mentally very strong. It's not easy. There will be a lot of ups and downs. I know a lot of the stories out there, everything is green grass and green pastures, but for a lot of people, it's very up and down. I'd say for most, it's up and down, and you need to be very mentally strong, and you need to have a very good support group around you, and it's totally okay to reach out to whoever you feel comfortable to and say, listen, I'm struggling. It's difficult. I need a pep talk or whatever it is. That's totally okay. I can't tell you how many times I called my family, my close friends, because it was very difficult. So yeah, but obviously with those experiences, you grow as a player and as a person, and you kind of just have to keep on moving forward. And this is a new opportunity. And again, I will still talk to those people that I'm close to because it's healthy to do so. And yeah, and then hopefully we can have a really good season here, and hopefully I can excel. But yeah.
For those that get only the opportunity to watch you occasionally, if you were to look at you, what would you say? And I'm not going to go third person because that's $1 fine and that goes in the jar. What would you say that you bring to the table as a part of the midfield that is being anticipated there at St. Louis City?
I don't want to give too much away about what the philosophy is over here. But I will say that I hope to bring a lot of energy, enthusiasm, and quality on the ball. But I think I'm going to leave that answer a little bit shorter just because I don't want to give anything away. I think obviously the more we play, you're going to see the style of play that we have and what that demands from every kind of group, the back line, the midfield, and the forwards. People will be able to see that for themselves. But I don't want to give too much away at the moment.
Understood. How do you think your game has on the field, outside of the outside of the game stuff that we talked about?
Yeah.
How do you think your game has grown and evolved on the field over the last handful of years as you've gotten experience in multiple divisions in England and here in the States in Major League Soccer? How has your game grown?
Just maturity, just a calmness and a composure. I remember the first couple times that I played professionally, I was so amped up and I had so much energy and I would just run myself to the ground. That was due to nervousness and I wanted to impress. And obviously I still want to impress. That's obviously going to stay. That's going to stay a constant. But just the composure, composure on the ball, reading the game, which comes with experience. And in my opinion, there are these rare cases where people don't need that. People just go into teams and they're just naturally, they just have a feel for the game. That wasn't me. I needed that. I needed those games to feel comfortable. And now I feel comfortable. I'm not saying I'm going to stop. I think everything in life, you need to progress. So I will still try to progress and get 1% better every day. And I think if I do that, I think if we do that as a team as well, I think we're going to be in a good place. But individually, that's probably my answer.
And then over the span of a year, you become 365% better, which is always good. When you look back at, say, your time starting out, when you started, and I know that coming from a family of footballers in Savannah,
yeah,
you had maybe the Charleston Battery to look at, maybe some high school stuff, and obviously more probably European influence and things like that. But going from Savannah and getting tapped on the shoulder to be a part of something in Statesboro, a lot of folks would sit there and go, now, wait a minute. Statesboro, Georgia, Georgia Southern, they think of it probably as college football first and foremost.
Yeah.
What was it like to be a part of something there where you had a group of folks, and I'll go ahead and name drop here, with Darren and Nitra Van Tassel, who understood with the folks that they surrounded themselves with that something special could happen in Statesboro? What was it like to get tapped and go from Savannah 45 minutes west and be a part of something at Tormenta where you got your first steps?
Yeah. I just want to say Darren and Nitra Van Tassel, lovely people. Love them to bits. But yeah, it's obviously with new clubs, clubs that are just starting out from like the ground roots, trying to build something. It's obviously very exciting at any stage. So yeah, it was just a very, very exciting time in Statesboro. I was lucky enough to know Darren, who was the one who was probably one of the, people on the front who was really pushing for it. So yeah, it was just a very, very exciting time to be around there, around Statesboro and Savannah area, and things were going on. But yeah, and it's been very exciting to see them be so successful as well. I obviously played them last year. I think it was in the Open Cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Played them last year in the Open Cup. I was able to see Darren. Miss Nitra didn't come down, but I saw Mr. Darren. It was awesome seeing them, the project they have going on there. They played really well against us. And I think it was that same year that they ended up winning the USL League One playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go, against the Chattanooga Red Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
But they're doing really good. I'm so happy for all their successes. I'm happy that I was there from the ground roots. I'm not sure I was there when they became No, I was there when they became Tormenta. But yeah, nonetheless, I'm super happy to be a part of something that happened when they were so young, and obviously they have so much success now. So I'm wishing them nothing but success for Tormenta, and was just super happy to be a part of it.
Were you a part of Miss Nitra's guideposts about putting the cell phone in the basket before you go and ate lunch, those kinds of things? Did you have to do those kinds of things?
I don't remember.
Because, it's one of the things that I thought was one of the coolest things ever, having to learn about interpersonal communication. Because today, we're locked into our devices. It's like, oh, here's what's going on my phone.
Yeah.
But if you were part of Tormenta and you were part of the team, what you had to do before you went and ate.
Yeah.
You had to put your cell phone in the basket outside the room.
Yeah.
And that way you were forced to talk to your teammates and actually have conversations and learn about them instead of, sitting there and having your pasta and being locked into your phone.
Mhm.
It's one of those things that I think gets lost today is
Yeah.
we're all into our phones, and you have those kinds of things where they're going old school and it ends
Yeah.
up benefiting you, but you don't realize it at the time.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure. This could be untrue. I don't know what I'm about to say, if it's true or not,
All
because
right.
I'm not sure if I remember correctly. Uh, but I do think the times we trained in Statesboro, we had games in Statesboro. The fields were next to the clubhouse. You've been in the clubhouse, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, what a place. But they were next to the clubhouse. And I think when we would eat at the clubhouse. I think maybe we had to drop our phones in the basket. I don't want to say that's true. Having said that, when we were at that age, we weren't really glued to our phones. I think we did enjoy each other's company. And we were actually a really successful team. We were a very successful team. We were in State Cup a couple times, made it to the final one year. We had a really good group of guys on that team.
When you look back, I mean, legitimately, we all sit there and we look back and we're going, okay, yeah, that was, man, that was like 10 years ago when all this stuff is happening. Does it seem like it's been 10 years when you hit the ground running in Statesboro and you go from Statesboro to IMG and then you're overseas and now you're back? Does it seem like this run has been 10 years worth of effort that you put into a professional career?
Um, my honest answer would be not really. I feel like it was like maybe the last year that I was at IMG. Obviously not. But it has gone by very fast. And I think I need to kind of slow down and enjoy every single day. I know I'm only 21. I understand that, but I do think it's still very valuable to enjoy the time that I am playing professional soccer, because it's not going to last forever. I think most people are lucky if they play till they're 30, 35. I think most people are lucky if they get to play for that long. So I think maybe one of my resolutions this year was to enjoy every day as it comes, and kind of enjoy the process, whether it be difficult or easy.
How would you compare, and I know that this is a limited sample size, how would you compare the action and experience of playing overseas versus playing domestically? And I know that this is something now with Major League Soccer growing, that they're bringing in players from the outside, but depending on the franchise, they're building from within.
Yeah.
And so when you look at the time that you spent overseas, how different is it to what you're being a part of now in Major League Soccer? How different is it, or is the universe kind of closing in on itself more and more?
I am going to say that the viewpoint on the MLS is changing. And if people don't want to take my, what I think about it, they can just see that a lot of European teams are now taking chances on young Americans or young players who are doing well in MLS. They're being shipped off to Europe to see if they can cut it out. I'll give this example because John Duran just signed from Chicago to Aston Villa. Very good example. Georgi Mihailovic was a really good player in the MLS last year. Young American, went to, I believe it was AZ Akmar in the Netherlands. George Bello, friend of mine, who was at Atlanta 2 years ago, is now playing in Germany. So I think clubs are looking at the MLS not anymore as a retirement league. Maybe these older ex-pros are going, oh, let me go to the MLS and use it as retirement. Whatever. But younger kids can, I mean, even on that point, Bernadeschi just signed for Toronto. Not just signed, but he played for Toronto. He's what? He's 28, 29?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, he still has a lot of life left in him. So yeah, I think to answer that question, when I first went to England when I was 16, everyone was like, oh yeah, MLS, Farmers League. No one cares about it, retirement league. But now I think a lot of people are changing their viewpoint on it because of the players, which are products of the MLS, are now going to Europe. And I think European teams are now more willing to take chances on American players or players who have played in MLS. So it's, I think, in my opinion, a way more, what's the word I'm looking for here? Attractive league to go and play your soccer in.
Yeah, and you look at your roster, you look at the kid, you look at the other kids that are there with you in homeroom this year as you're getting ready
Yeah.
to play Major League Soccer, and St. Louis City spends a lot of money to bring Roman Berkey in. You bring in Ben Luton, who's accomplished in USL Championship. You've got Tim Parker, Josh Yarrow, who helped Next Pro last season.
Yeah.
Got John Nelson, no relation. Jake Nerwinski. There's there's Ostrak, Jared Stroud, who's done some things in Austin, and there's guys there. Nico Gioacchini, Sam Adeniran, who's done well in USL Championship, and I mean, there are some pieces here that come from a bunch of different directions.
Yeah.
And it will be interesting to see, knowing the philosophy that you're not going to divulge in this particular interview and tell us any state secrets. But to see how it all blends together with all of these different guys that are coming from all these different directions.
Yeah.
Now that you're all in the same home room and you're in something that you're getting to build from the ground up.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting, and there will be bumps in the road. I don't think if you interviewed anybody, they were going to come on here and say, oh yeah, it's going to be smooth sailing for the whole year. There will be bumps in the road, which is to be expected. And I think during this preseason camp, we're going to find out who we are as a team. Having said that, our coaching staff, I'll name drop a couple of coaches: Bradley, John Hackworth. Well, I love Hack because I had Hack previously, but just the whole coaching staff as a whole, they are kind of killing us with our principles, which is good. Which I think everybody is kind of already tired of hearing a week and a half in, but I think that we need it, and it's good to build a team identity. And I think if we have everybody going in the same direction, which is the main goal, we can be competitive this year. I'm not gonna say how competitive. I'm not gonna say our philosophies, but yeah, listen. To summarize it, there's going to be bumps in the road. It's going to be our first year playing MLS. We've got so many different people that don't know each other. So this whole preseason is about getting to know people, getting to know strengths, playing to people's strengths, and kind of finding out how we play as a team. So it's exciting. It's a little bit scary, but I think that comes with being a new franchise.
So when it comes to, you mentioned it being exciting and scary, I don't think that anything new isn't for a triple negative. And my mom, the English major, would probably come after me with that. But if we all like to see these kinds of things and to be tapped and sit there and go, yeah, we want you to be a part of it. Obviously, it's got to be a very special feeling to where you're sitting there and you're going, man, does a gravity hit you at times where you sit there and go, man, I really am part of something that's new that really could be special? Is that gravity there?
I think at the moment, maybe not. I think a lot of us are just really excited to be here. I think it might hit most. I mean, I think for some of the guys who were here last year, maybe it has hit them already, the gravity of it. I think maybe the gravity will hit me when we can finally play a home game.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I think when we play our first home game and we can see the support, I think that's going to be really good. The stadium is absolutely beautiful. I was lucky enough to get a tour of it before I came. Stadium is beautiful, and if it's packed, I think that might be the first moment. I don't know. Maybe it'll happen earlier. I have no idea. But yeah, that could be one of those moments where I'm like, wow, this is going to be something special. Not to say that I haven't thought about and haven't been grateful for the opportunity that I am being given here. But just like the magnitude and gravity of being a brand new MLS franchise maybe won't hit me, I don't think, until you have those fans in the stadium going crazy.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing this whole thing as you are part of the build. Indiana Vassilev, part of St. Now, do you have to say St. Louis City? Because it's in all caps, do you have to be emphatic every time you say the full name of the franchise, or can you just go ahead and say St. Louis City SC? Do you have to be St. Louis? You have to sit there and straighten your back up a little bit. St. Louis City, and
that's a very good question. I'm not sure I have the answer to it. But it does sound better when you give it a bit more oomph, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you kind of sit there, you straighten the back up a little bit.
Right, straighten it back up, get a little,
hit the caps, hit the capital letters and sit there and make it go like that.
Yeah. I mean, even a little fist pump when you almost want to give a fist pump when you say it with capitals, but I mean, it's up to everybody, whatever they want to say. But yeah, no comment on how to answer that question.
Well, I don't think there's any bad way to answer it, but yeah, just it's coming, and we all know that MLS is greater for it and being a part of everything. And in Indiana, great to have you here for a 1v1. And obviously, now that we know how to get in touch with you, we can certainly continue these conversations as we go. But no, it was fantastic to see you and to be able to finally get the lowdown about how things are going there at preseason camp as you're getting ready to start something for real that is massively important in the growth of Major League Soccer. Thanks for hanging out for a 1v1. We'll catch up soon, my friend.
Thank you so much, John. I appreciate you allowing me to be on your show. It was awesome. Thank you so much.